Who is pumped for today? And today I'm going to talk about how that you can get more conversion and close more clients without making this one mistake. And I believe a lot of us, especially if you're a closer or entrepreneurs, you have been making this mistake before. Okay. So who is ready? I want to share my screen and let me know if you can see my screen. Put down in the comments. By the way, before I start, actually, I want to share, if you like my live video and you want to get other people to get the same results, just share the post, my live, so everyone else can get the same understanding, the same value, right? And also, I will share great tools. That is my pipeline system template that normally I use to follow up with my leads and how that you can do the same so you will not miss anyone that you are following up, that you are getting them to the pipeline, right? How that you can use the pipeline. So comment on the comment box, put one there, type one if you want that copy, the template for free. And you can share and like this post if you want to get the copy of the Google Docs that I will share in a bit, okay? So let me share my screen so you can see how exactly is that looks like. So okay, let me know if you can see my screen, if that is clear. Okay, so I'm so pumped today to share this with you. Get more conversion and clients without having to make this mistake. And I believe a lot of people have been making this mistake, including me back then. When I just learned how to close, I just learned about sales and marketing, and all my energy, put all of my destiny, like put all my income on the marketing hands, right? Where actually in the reality, you and solely you should be determine your pipeline and result, not other people. So if you first time watching this live, my name is Andreas. I've been generating more than $3 million in outreach sales strategy. And I want to share to you how that I do it and how that you can do the same. So every time I go live, I will share some valuable information. And also I want to share some resources. For example, like today, if you want, type one in the chat, in the comment box, if you want my pipeline system template for free. And if you share and like this post, I can give you the copy of these strategy documents. Just ping me, DM me, or you can put it on the comment box. All right. So let's continue. Not marketing department, right? A lot of people actually, they have been putting their destiny, their income level, their leads quality, all in the marketing department. Like, you can tell how many friends, how many people that they're acting as a closer or salesperson, and they're just waiting from the marketing department, right? They say, oh, I have no leads. Oh, my lead quality is bad. Oh, they're not interested in what we are selling, right? So all the effort, all the things that we lose control upon them because we just solely not determine our pipeline and results because we just dependent on the marketing department, right? How do we can change that? How can be different, right? So first thing first, you need to learn the skill to the outreach, right? If you just relying on yourself, you need to know how that you can reach out to other people, how that other people will perceive you not as a salesperson that's average, but how they can appreciate when you reach out to them. That is the skill, that is a mindset that you got to learn, right? So don't just rely on inbound. It's limited and lazy. It's limited because the result is not predictable, right? As far as I know, in the coaching, consulting, online industry, if you are doing some marketing, Facebook ads, lead generation, it's always have limitation until, let's say, the meta change their algorithm or the frequency to high, and then it will not showing up to the right people, to the right audience. So there is some limitation because it cannot be consistent for 5 years, 10 years, right? It's always like changing all day long. So don't just run on inbound. It's limited and lazy. You need to learn the outreach skill, guys. If you can really learn the outreach skills yourself, you will not be dependent on anyone else. And you can generate your own leads and you can do your own thing, right? And that's the only way you can make a lot of money, right? Put in the chat, how many of you agree with this? Give me some likes or put in the chat. All right. So 3 steps to gain full control on your conversion results. Do you want to know how? Type one in the chat. Type one in the chat. I'll share you the pipeline system that you can use as well. Okay. So the first thing first is to find out who is your ideal customer, right? Don't just like, oh, everyone is my customer. Oh, everyone is my target audience, right? And you cannot reach out to them efficiently because you don't know who is your buyer, right? If you're selling anything, any products, selling software or selling infomercial, selling coaching or anything that you're closing, or you are entrepreneur, you have your own product, you need to know who are their ideal customer, their ideal avatar, right? Then you know where you can reach out to them. Is that from social media? Which one? Is that LinkedIn? Is that Facebook? Is that Instagram? Don't just go everywhere and just trying to find them, because it will be too broad. At the end of the day, you need to be very specific so you can target them and they will engage with you, right? And the second thing is Google, right? Is that, are they hanging out on Google Maps, right? You can go to Google Maps and find their information, their email, phone numbers, and you can contact them, or even go to the shop. Like just go there and see who they are and try to talk to the decision maker, right? There's also another form of outreach that you can do. So that's the step number one. Step number two, send those DMs and make those calls. Just reach out to them, right? A lot of us, if you missed the part one that I did, this basically when I show you guys how that you can stop overthinking, stop feeling that fear and anxiety and stress, and how that you can just start making your calls. How can you can just go out there and just do it, right? This the important part, guys. If you don't know how to send the DM and make those calls, there are two possibilities, right? One is that because the fear is just too much and you're just afraid to make those calls or those DMs, because there is some part inside of you that afraid to be judged or afraid to get rejection. Or second, you just don't know how and just need to learn the skills, right? That's the second part. So set up a KPI for yourself. Like you need to put up a target. If you're working in the sales team, normally the sales manager will give you some target, right? You need to make at least 60 calls a day. Or even if you just entrepreneur yourself, just start to reach out to people like 10 in a day, 15 in a day, just a low number, but you being consistent with that. And you need to commit to it, right? So that eventually you can follow and measure. Again, if you want to get the format, how you can measure this and what kind of pipeline that you can use, comment one in the chat, comment one on the comments, and I can share the template for free. Okay. And the third one is consistency, right? It's the big thing. Consistent follow up with pipeline metrics. If you not consistent, if you're not tracking data, if you're not putting the names that you follow up, you're just shooting in the blind. And hopefully the spaghetti will stick on the wall, right? But here's the reality. If you measure it, you know who that you reach out to. That is called hyper targeting. That is called you are understanding your audience, right? That's called that you being consistent, reaching out to them, giving them value, and eventually they will be open enough to have conversation with you, to have meetings with you. But if you don't do follow up, that you cannot do reach out, because reach out, one of the main important pillars, there's a prospecting triangle that I haven't shared it. Tomorrow I'll share it with you guys. That is going to talk about the real important part, the meat and potatoes of outreach, right? Outreach need the follow-up metrics pipeline. If you don't put their names and information inside there, you will miss a lot of shots because you're just not following up with them. And in fact, you need to follow up with value, not just like, hey, have you seen this? Hey, did you see my message? Hey, how are you? Like that kind of messages, it will annoy people. But if you follow up with value and let them know and see how that you are adding value to them, it's going to make a huge difference, right? And second, use the data and action notes so you will not miss anyone. So in the pipeline itself, when you put down their names, their notes, you also need to put in their date, right? When you reach out to them, are they reply back to you? Are they not yet? What are you going to do next? What kind of value you can bring to them? It all has to be written down inside the pipeline metrics. Again, if you want to get the template, comment one on the comment section and I'll give you the template for free. So you can just copy it and you can use it to take notes of your pipeline yourself. Okay. Now here's the rule of thumb. If you are reaching out to people and you're generating your own leads with this, right? This like sales activity that you do generate your own leads, you cannot be seen as an average closer, because when the prospect, when the lead, when the owner, when the CEO or anyone that you're targeting, if they see you as an average closer or a salesperson, you will lose the positioning. They will just move on and they will not see you as an expert at adding value. So that's why you gotta have to position yourself as someone that able to talk, to discuss in their level, in their level. You cannot just be seen as a closer, as a salesperson, because just face it, right? The reality, everyone see salesperson, closer as someone that already been salesy, pushy, sleazy, snake oil, right? It's just been negative in the marketplace. How do you can change that image by breaking the pattern, not just being seen as the other one, you know? And if you just being seen as the other one, you lose the positioning already. And most likely you will not have a good conversation with them and they'll ghost you, right? So that's step number 3, and that's the rule of thumb. All right. So these are the 3 steps. Hopefully you take notes, right? If you want this copy of this Google Docs, just share and like this post, and I'll send it to you by DM so you can understand how that you can do this 3-step. This is just like very simple 3 steps, but the recap, you need to do this consistently. Imagine if you have the power to not relying on the inbound only, not in the marketing ads, marketing effort, or social media only, you will break the standard. You will be on top of the asset that companies need, that people need. And you will be able to have full control upon your income because you know where you can target them, hyper targeting, step number 1, right? And you can make those DM and those calls. Just take action. Doing this and making mistakes is totally fine because literally you have unlimited leads. You can find it yourself. You're not dependent on the marketing anymore, right? And number 3, just consistently follow up with the pipeline metrics because you're not measuring it. You don't know how to improve it. But if you measure it, you can look into the stats, how many people are responding, not responding, how many of them that actually getting to the appointments, and you can see where is the breakdown, the process is not converting, or the things that you need to improve yourself, right? So these are 3 simple steps, but you need to follow this. And I want to see your result. Just put in a comment, ask anything, and let me know. And I'll see you soon. All right.